So, hi everyone, and welcome to this very wonderful webinar on how to pivot into business analysis. My name is Ebenezer, and I'm going to be having a quick chat with us this evening, as well as one of our very interesting partners at PhD Consulting as well. So, let's know where you're joining from. I see people joining all the way from New Brunswick, excellent. Some people are joining from Lagos, Nigeria. Some people are joining from St. John in New Brunswick. Some from Mountain. Yeah, thank you for joining. And it's really a privilege to kind of host this very awesome webinar tonight. Now, this promises to be very exciting, and we want to quickly go straight to the point because a lot of the things we're going to be talking about this evening will be around leveraging our experience and pivoting to business analysis. One of the interesting things is that people have heard at some point or the other, oh, business analysis. People want to, according to the popular term, from back home in Africa, Nigeria, people want to jackpot, and everybody's like, okay, so how do I get into a profession that would really help me? How do I leverage my previous experience? How do I really, get a great job, when I get to Canada? And this is a concern for most people, and that's one of the reasons we're doing this. So I'll go right ahead and quickly also share, and then I'll start with a brief introduction of myself. So my name is Ebenezer, and my very good friends also call me Shego. Um, I have an MBA from the University of Leicester, and I also have all of those beautiful certifications you kind of see right on the chart right here. Pretty much, I also have a postgraduate degree or certificate from the University of Texas in data science and business analytics, and I'm going to ask our other partner to kind of just say a few words as well as I turn in on the next slide. You're welcome, our Dr. Oladisi. You want to just introduce yourself a little bit and just a bit about yourself.
Thank you, Shegun. So I look different in this picture because when I got to Canada, I had to cut my hair. I couldn't keep up with the old salon and all that. So that's why I look a bit different, but still the same person. So my name is Olabisi Additional, BC for short. And like Shegun said, we are very good friends and as well as colleagues and professional, professional, what's it called, pals as well. So I have a lot of the certifications on the screen. I have an MBA as well from Bradford University in the UK. And along my journey as a BA and an institution architect, I have all the, I have ITIL, I have TOGAF, I have PMP, I have CBA, I have AWS, amongst other ones, And so I'm very happy to be here this evening in Canada and this night wherever in Nigeria. It's always an honor to share my journey and experience and also answer questions and give practical tips on how this old journey, can be realized. And so that's it for now. Thank you very much. Share over to you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's phenomenal. So it's gonna be a very interactive session, but of course, I'm gonna speed through like in 10, 15 minutes over the next say 10, 15 minutes. The slides I have before me right here, I think I have about 20, but I'll do this very fast. So let me first of all, talk to you a little bit about Phenomenal Difference Consulting, um, which is the endorsed education provider here in New Brunswick. We are the only endorsed education provider here, according to the IBA. We are also an authorized training partner for Agile and Scrum. We're also an AWS consulting partner. And I happen to be one of the founders of IBA Nigeria. I've also been featured about my CBAP journey by IBA during that campaign. And I've also hosted an online meetup for about 100 participants in attendance. And of course, Very recently, the president of IB in New Brunswick and the managing partner at PhD Consulting. That's just a little bit about myself and PhD Consulting. What do? We help people to start their business analysis career. We help people to be able to pivot into business analysis through coaching and training alike. Now, that said, I want to be able to just give us a little bit of statistics before we even understand what business analysis is. And then we'll throw things up for questions and, of course, how to pivot into business analysis. Now, this profession is a noble one. And the interesting thing about this profession is that anyone at all can pivot into business analysis. Now, as shown right here in US dollars, those are the 5 industries, for higher salaries. And this is the last year data, right? People in the consulting and professional services, they earn as much as $97. That's $7,000, right? You see people in manufacturing as well, also in healthcare and then energy and utilities. So those are the top 5 industries that kind of recruit BAs. And you can see the figures in USD right on there. And that's one statistics. I'll also show us another one. Now, top industries that kind of employ business analysis professionals or BAs, right? In the IT industry, we see that about 30% increase. There's a 4% increase versus the 2020 data, and this is from the Global Analysis Survey, Business Analysis Survey that was done. Now, these are interesting statistics that really let you see the industries that kind of employ BAs, or when you kind of start your journey as a business analyst, what industry can you actually work in? Yeah, these are some of the industries that really pay a lot. Now, that said, I want to ask us this very big question. What is business analysis and who is a business analyst? Yeah, what is business analysis and who is a business analyst? Now, you can see that right on here, a business analyst kind of wears a lot of hats. Is a conflict resolver, a value watcher, a technology adopter, is a problem solver, is a change enabler, is a documenter, as well as an idea generator. He wears a lot of hats. And I'm pleased to inform you tonight that anyone at all that performs business analysis activities, irrespective of their role, irrespective of their experience, once you carry out business analysis activities, I'm happy to tell you that you can pivot into being a business analyst. Okay? And I know there'll be lots of questions. Maybe we can start putting them into the chat right now. Now, these are some of the common titles that we see today. When someone says it's an enterprise analyst or a management consultant or a process analyst or a product manager, a product owner, a business architect, a systems analyst, or even a data analyst, that person is a business analyst. Or he has the skill set of a business analyst. Now, people will talk around, oh, I think I like to be a Scrum Master, or I think I prefer to be a user experience, user interface design type analyst, or I think I love product management, or wait a minute, I think I love data analytics. As a matter of fact, people often confuse business analysis with data analytics, but they are all interwoven, and business analysis is right at the core of all of this. Now, I'll make this pretty fast again. Some of the underlying competencies of an effective BA are what you see right here. And these are the soft skills that, every Canadian employer, and not just Canadian employers, even in the US, all over the world, these are some of the skills that are looking for. For those in Canada, you would hear things like, oh, do you have Canadian experience? What are they asking you for? These are the underlying competencies that they're asking you for. Do you have the right behavioral characteristics? Are you a great communicator? Do you have business knowledge? Are you a problem solver? Are you analytical? Can you interact? Those are the kind of things they're actually looking for technically. Now, another survey kind of shows some of the required competencies and skill sets that a BA needs to have. I'm not going to talk about all of them, but of course, one of the most important ones, arguably, that we see right on here is your communication skills. It might interest you to know that the skills that is needed to do the job are pretty much soft skills. People are able to learn these concepts. People are able to learn the vocabulary and the jargons. People are able to learn how to do the work, but not everybody has great soft skills like they should. So these are some of the competencies that really help you to be that effective business analyst. Now, what kind of problems are you going to be solving as a BA? You want to be able to understand the enterprise problems. See yourself as a consultant, right? You want to be able to analyze the needs and solutions of whatever your client or whoever you're kind of working for. And you can also apply some of these skills as well, even as an entrepreneur. Okay. Now, but the most important thing here is that your underlying competencies as a business analyst stand you out. Okay. You devise strategies and objectives, you drive changes within the enterprise, and then you're able to facilitate stakeholder collaboration. Now, what's business analysis? Okay. We said, according to the IABA, we've been able to define that as the practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs as well as recommending solutions that will deliver value to your stakeholders. Now, one of the things that you see in organizations today is that business analysts are highly sought after. And of course, one of the things you see is that you see different types of job descriptions. You hear business analysts working on projects a lot or working on different initiatives. The reason they need business analysts is because the organization needs to get them from their point A to the point B, where they are or their assist position to their to B. Okay. Now, we've been able to define business analysis. I'll run very fast. But of course, how do I pivot into being a business analyst? How do I become a BA? How do I leverage my experience? Now, it's possible that you have very fragmented knowledge and experience. Maybe you're a customer service professional, you are a banker, like we usually say from back home, yeah? Or you work as a financial services professional, you work as a help desk analyst, or a procurement professional, a business development or entrepreneur. You have those experiences, not directly related. But the interesting thing is when you find yourself being on initiatives where you're having to help the organization boost their revenue, or you are helping the organization minimize costs, or you find yourself trying to solve a problem, maybe process efficiency type problems, or you're trying to design maybe some sort of procedures, or you're trying to even recommend improvements, or you're trying to drive change within the organization. If you have any related experience like this, then you are already doing business analysis and you're a great candidate, to pivot into business analysis. There are some myths that people usually come up with. Oh, business analysis is technical. Oh, you need to have a tech degree. No, you don't. Those are all lies. You don't need all of that. What you need to do is to be able to bridge your knowledge gap. Now, some people are probably even IT folks, but they want to even pivot into business analysis. They can as well. I'm gonna rush over this pretty quickly. Let me talk about what it takes to be an excellent BA, like I mentioned before. You must be customer focused. Think like the customer. Be the voice of the customer. You must be able to see the big picture. And of course, the most important one, like I mentioned, you want to be an outstanding communicator. Okay? If you are a great communicator, you are a great potential to pivot into business analysis. You must be someone that kind of enjoy research, and also you're able to, sometimes I ask my students questions, and I say things like, "Oh, can you sell ice to an Eskimo?" And then they laugh. Or I ask people questions like, "Okay, why do you want to do business analysis?" Someone says to me, "You know what? I just want to earn 6 figures. I'm not coming to Canada to come and look at snow. No, that's not what I came here for. I want to be earning big bucks." Yeah? These are the kind of skill sets that you need to be able to pivot. And irrespective of your experience, either as a procurement professional or a customer service, your experience is valid. All you need to do is to clearly articulate them when we work with you to be able to say, yes, this is the business analysis in what I've done. Now, these are some specialization areas in business analysis. I've mentioned to you product management, the agile space, customer experience, design thinking, cybersecurity, cloud or software as a service, application management, machine learning and artificial intelligence, business intelligence, data analytics. Business analysis skills are at the core of what all of these interesting professionals actually do. So, what kind of BA do you want to be? Okay, do you want to be a BA that is a generalist, or you want to be a specialist, or you can even be a hybrid type of BA? Okay, now let me reiterate again the skills you need to succeed as a business analyst. You want to be a visual person, a people person. You know, sometimes I ask people, can you facilitate a session with 500 people? Oh, some people are like, no, I can't do that. But I'm like, well, you might need to build that skill because that's one of the things BAs do. Are you someone that you enjoy interacting with technology? Are you someone that you enjoy continuous improvement? Are you a visual person? Do you love documentation? Yes, you might be a candidate for pivoting into business analysis. Now, how in practical steps do you do this? You want to bridge your knowledge gap through training, and of course, you advised to get certified. That's one of the first steps. You want to ensure that you make friends with people that are BAs, okay, and there are a whole lot of thought leaders that you can actually follow online. That's another way to really start understanding and how to superimpose your previous experience into business analysis. Okay, then you want to learn the business analysis tools and techniques. They are very critical. Modeling tools are very critical. All right, analytical techniques as well as your communication techniques. You want to learn relevant domain, leveraging your previous work experience. You want to work with a coach to be able to refocus your resume, to be able to show your transferable skills. And one piece of advice: never be a vanilla BA. You want to be the kind of BA that has spice, some business knowledge, maybe some application knowledge. It really helps you to be able to fit into an organization, and you're not just easily replaceable. Now, you want to hone your behavioral skills, and I'll keep overemphasizing communication skills. It's extremely important. All right, your interpersonal skills as well as organizational skills, and then you want to seek opportunity to add value. Practice what you have done. All right, you can look for a startup business analysis job or look for a volunteering job. Okay, people can even volunteer in church. That is how to start. Right. And of course, you want to join the International Institute of Business Analysis. Jump in. You can even just register, right? Of course, join IBA Global. You can pay on IIBA.org. And then, of course, networking is critical. It helps you to be able to hone your communication skills. Yeah, join organizations like Toastmasters, and of course, join a local chapter of IIBA. We have one here in New Brunswick, and of course, we are looking for volunteers. So it is extremely important that on this journey of pivoting, you need to have a coach. Okay, and of course, Coach Ebenezer is here to be able to help you to be able to pivot. So I'm going to give you some more statistics, pretty much around, certifications. It stands you out. It helps you validate your knowledge. And of course, at work, when you start working as a BA, you have that level of confidence. Okay? And of course, BAs that are certified to get promoted easily. It gives you a greater sense of fulfillment at work. Okay? Based on these statistics. You want to be in demand, without applying for roles that are looking for you already. They're headhunting you here and there. I remembered when IBA kind of interviewed me, and I shared that, well, before I'm even looking for a job, someone is already ready to headhunt me. Okay? And that's how valuable that you are as a business analyst. Leverage your previous work experience and pivot. It is very important. Okay? And then, of course, in terms of growth, you can grow. Maybe you don't have a lot of experience. You can come in at the entry level, do your ECB or entry certificate in business analysis. or your CCBA if you are at the intermediate or junior level. And then, of course, if you're a senior BA, you would be able to do your CBAP. And then, of course, you begin to grow in that profession. I'm looking for people to kind of put in questions in the chat. Um, and of course, ask us questions as well. If you're able to jump on our Learning by Doing program, which is an endorsed course by IABA that we've curated for you to be able to have hands-on training and experience in pivoting to business analysis, we're going to be giving a little 50% discount if you are signing up in the next 24 hours. But of course, before then, I want to kind of open this up, to our partner, Dr. Labisi, to just, say a few words as well. Share a story a little bit. Can probably take like 5-10 minutes, and then we'll open it up for, questions, and people can put their questions in the chat before we wrap up.
Thank you very much, Segun. Okay, so I'll just give a brief outline of how I went into the BA role, just to budget some points that Segun mentioned as I was going through this fantastic presentation. Okay, so my career, I was an admin officer. That was my career. I was like receptionist in the office, ordering for papers and all that. And I was working in the IT support environment. And one day I just thought to myself, I can do this support work. So that was my first IT role. I became an app support engineer. And from there, I kind of saw that, okay, I think I can serve the business users more than I can serve them in this core IT, writing code and programming. So I made that move into the senior BA role back then, MTN. And that was 2009. Yes, I've been that long in the BA world. So my point is, like Segun said, you don't have to be a techie to move into the BA world, but you need to be able to, learn to talk to crowds of people, hold your own amongst all kinds of levels. I've spoken to executive teams, resolve stakeholder issues. And like Segun said also, being a BA, a huge part of being a BA is your soft skills, how you communicate, how you engage stakeholders, because how you solve conflict, how you escalate issues, how you treat people, being able to respond to your stakeholders at every point in time. So my point is, you can pivot into the BA world regardless of your background. And a good way of starting really is by getting into the CBAP or the CCBA track. It gives you a good grip. It gives a very good oversight of what the BA world is all about. So you can discuss, the terms they use in the BA world, what they do, how they do it, what the tools that we use in the BA world. And like Segun said as well, it's always good to have some bits of technical understanding, but the focal point, the fundamental thing is that you must have, you have your CBAP or your CCBA or your ECBA first and foremost. It gives you a good, insight into the BA, what the BA terms, when you say what do stakeholders mean, what does it mean to gather requirements, what does it mean to be to stand in front of a crowd, and you kind of lead that crowd, you lead them into the world of program delivery, solution delivery, but then doing that, you going for this course, like Segun has put on the screen, is a very good way to get a handle. So at this point, I'll wait for questions to come around so you can just have a very interactive session. So what are your questions? What have we had? Any myth that we need to debunk? Your concerns, what gives you fears and heart palpitation when you think of being a BA? What makes you afraid? What is confusing? What gives you, what do you need us to discuss and just kind of, talk about? At this point, I'll yield the floor to Segun to take over for the questions. And how does PMP differ from BA? Okay, I get this question a lot, and I tell people, I'm not a project manager. I have the PMP, but I'm a BA. So the PMP is like, so let's say there's a project. You want to do something. A project is just, I want to do something. They oversee the planning. The BA is the one that goes to all the stakeholders or the team members and actually gather what they want, what they need to get done. So the PM oversees activities across board. So the PM is involved in, so how much do this cost us? What are the teams involved? What are the risks that we're going to face? What are the roadblocks that we need to clear? But the BA is involved in getting the needs of the people across board, and how do we now translate this need, into a solution? So that's the difference between a PM and a BA. That is that clear, or I should break it down further?
I think it sounds really clear. So let's talk. Let's have a conversation. I mean,
Yeah.
questions. You can ask questions if you want. That's the whole essence of the session.
So analytics is all about reporting. It's all about data. Being a BA, I've always never been. I'm not what you call a domain BA, and I'm a very senior BA. So I've worked in health, I worked in telecoms, I worked in government. I believe that as a BA, they should once have the principles, in graphs. You can overlay those principles in any industry. So even they will say, I don't know what they do. Does that I'm not a domain BA, I'm just a BA. So that means I can work in any industry. Now, when you talk about business analytics, it's about using data to drive decisions. But the business analyst is about, so for example, use analytics to come up with a decision. Okay, so we see that, we have 100 customers, and it seems though we are selling blue cups, they want red cups. Analytics will give that information, what your customers want, what is going wrong, what is going so well, what should be improved upon. Then the BA will now take that, that decision and translate that decision into an actual live solution or product or service. So analytics is always, with data, with reporting, and that gives us insights, what we need to get done. Then your BA takes up the baton from there and goes to deliver the product, the service, as the case may be. I hope that also clarifies things. Sheg, want to add something to this one as well?
Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting that, like I shared before, I'll see it as a subset of business analysis. Business analysis is typically at the core, yeah. Of course, but analytics is going to be looking at descriptive analytics. I'll take an example for instance. Okay, I run a fast food restaurant, yeah, and I want to know how much do I need to have in stock for me to meet my customers' demands. I need data to do that. Okay, so that's more of analytics. Okay, every weekend I've discovered that sales are higher. Every Friday, sales are higher as opposed to Mondays and Tuesdays. I'm beginning to see a pattern. Okay, or I've seen that. Wait a minute. Every bi-weekly, once they pay, oh yeah, I have many customers as opposed to, you know, when it's in between and people don't have money. So those are some of the things that analytics does. It helps you to be able to use data to solve problems. Now, that is like a sub skill set. When they write some job descriptions, yeah, if they are looking for a business intelligence or a data analytics person, you can really understand, what they're going to be looking for. So for me, you are still driving a change, but of course, you are using more data, yeah? Descriptive analytics, prescriptive analytics to do what you want to do or solve a problem, okay? But of course, as a business analyst, you're probably covering a whole lot more. You are driving a change. You are solving, understanding the client's needs, and you are solving a problem. That's what you're doing pretty much as a business analyst. So, like I said, there are different areas you might want to specialize in. Some people prefer agile, or some people think, okay, you know what? I think I'll do more of user interface, user experience. That's just one of the quick answers that I will give to this. Someone says, how long is the program? So the program is an 8-week program. It's a practical hands-on business analysis program and is endorsed by the IIB. And why do we have this program? Now, the reason is this. A lot of people think about pivoting into business analysis and then they're like, oh no, come do certifications. Yeah? It is not all about certification. I'm happy to let you know that, especially here and all over the world, people want people that will hit the ground running. not people that are going to be training anymore. Okay, so having a certification is not enough. Now, we've seen people before that, oh, they want to have certification. Anyone can jump on, the business analysis business of knowledge, read, and then get certified. It is beyond being certified. How do you demonstrate that you can apply that knowledge? How do you close the gap between you've never really done business analysis before, and now you are able to jump into an interview, you are able to answer questions, you're able to talk about what you have done, and you're able to convince a recruiter to say, you know what, that's the guy, or or hiring manager, that's the guy that I want on my team. That's why we have that program, to be able to help you bridge the gap and help you pivot to business analysis. So the program is 8 weeks, and it's typically over the weekend. We usually have the program over the weekend. So if anyone is interested in joining, I don't know if admin can paste the link if anyone is interested in joining the program. We have one starting September 10th. Someone said, I don't know,
The difference between the BA, Scrum Master, and Agile methodology. Okay. First and foremost, BA and Scrum Master, these are roles. These are roles that people hold. So a BA can be a Scrum Master and vice versa. It just depends on the actual project delivery method being used in the organization. So now that brings me to the Agile methodology. So, we have what we call the waterfall and the Agile. The waterfall is it's the old, well, I won't say, yeah, it's a very old method of delivering projects, which is still in use today. It's very, very heavy on planning. We plan everything before we start the work. But it was found out that this was wasting time and wasting resources. And by the time it takes years to get the product delivered, it's no longer even useful for what it's been done, which now brought out what they call the agile framework of doing things, which is, we do things in bits and pieces. So we don't have to wait to plan the whole thing. So we can deliver. So for example, I want to build a castle. So let me use the car industry as a particular example to show the difference between the agile and the waterfall. In the past, car makers would just make cars and they put into the market, so that we have a Honda and just go and pick it up. But now they saw that they had to be recalling cars often. So now, so what do they do now? They do like a few cars, test them. Then when they get the feedback, oh, these are the issues with this car, fix that one, they go back, make those improvements. They now push out the bulk. So that is agile. Agile is being able to get things done in bits and pieces, get feedback, go back, improve, then roll out again. So it saves money, it saves time, and we have a more efficient use of resources. So again, the BA and Scrum Master, those are roles, and the BA cuts across both agile and the waterfall environment. The Scrum Master is very much tied to the agile methodology, and so agile is doing things in bits and pieces, and it is opposite of waterfall, which is doing things in a planning, structured method that takes a long time to get it done. So Itwen, please, can you tell me in the chat, is it clearer now, or we should break it down further?
Questions, Itwen?
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds good. There's an example I usually give, just layman example. I tell people drive manual cars, yeah, at some point. But right now, people no longer drive a lot of manual cars. As a matter of fact, I've actually seen a video before where, an armed robber stole a car, and the car it was manual, and he couldn't drive it off. Why? Because he can't drive manual. So manual for me is like, the traditional way of doing projects, right? While agile is a more, I would call it automatic, right? Like you're driving an automatic car, right? But of course, it's more a faster way to delivery, if people would understand it that way. So we can take more questions tonight if anybody still has questions. And I apologize, I think a lot of people didn't get the link on time, so people are kind of joining a little bit late. Questions? Any questions else? Any other questions? Okay, I don't know BC, if you want to talk a little bit about, okay, someone said, what would you be focusing on the program? Okay, thank you very much, Nelly. That's an excellent question. Okay, so pretty much the program is going to be focusing on both doing projects in Agile as well as the traditional way waterfall. Now, even during the program, you're going to be learning the concept, business analysis skills. We're also going to be teaching the techniques and also going to be teaching you tools. All right. And you're going to be having practical case scenarios where you can solve real business analysis problems, of course, with clients' names, withheld. Okay. And it really puts you in that thinking mode. Now, let me quickly say something. One of the things you're going to be doing in class will be even some of the questions that are being given out to BAs today. Sometimes organizations no longer believe in, oh, that guy is a fantastic talker. That guy is a great communicator. They just ask you questions and then you just answer the questions. No, they want to give you a case scenario and ask you, what are you going to do? How are you going to
Yeah.
solve the problem?
Yeah.
And those are the kind of things we're going to be teaching you in class. Now, the very last class as well is going to be teaching you how do you jump into the boardroom? How do you take advantage of the boardroom and start delivering what you should in sense of you know, speaking to the hiring manager, how do you attend interviews? What are you going to say? Using your star approach, how are you going to talk about your experience? How are you going to link all of this together? And how are you going to land that job, that desirable job that you're looking for that's going to pay you, over 100K? Those are the kind of things we're going to be teaching you right on that program. And it might interest you that lots of our students have actually really done excellently well. Even some of them on the second or third module, they've been able to get jobs. I'll just share my screen for just so you see some of the testimonials. That kind of just shows this. Some of these people have never done business analysis before. I don't know if everybody's able to see my screen right now. You know, and then they're beginning to jump on, interesting roles, even with the big four. Fantastic companies. People are beginning to earn those six figures. Yeah. So you want to actually really take advantage of, being on the webinar today. And if you want to sign up, I see a question in the chat.
Yeah, but I think your screen is blocking me from seeing the question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was asking that is SEBA the only thing she needs to do as a BA? That's a starting point. It's as BAs, you can't rest on your oars. You need to keep learning, which was why I delved into the architect, which is quite technical. But my starting point was SEBA. So SEBA will give you a very good launch pad. It will get you the respect that you actually rightly deserve across the corporate world. And but that's the starting point. You cannot stop there, because as you get the hang of being a BA even much more, you need to keep learning. So you need to add some things like PMP to your arsenal of certifications, add some cloud cert, add like IT service delivery. So CBAP it's a core aspect of being a BA. It validates your BA experience and your BA understanding, but you don't stop there. If you want to stand out amongst senior BAs, they need to add something more. But CBAP is a very good starting point, but it's not the end. But it's a standard global, BA, what's it called I should have, it really sets you apart and gives you that stamp, but you don't stop there. And so by the time you've been in the BA world for a while, so now start, okay, I want to delve into this particular path. I want to delve into maybe very technical bit, or go into this particular track for service delivery. Depends on you. But BA or SABAP is starting point, but you don't stop there. You need to learn and add something to it just to make yourself much more valuable, in the marketplace.
Awesome. Any other questions? We're time boxing to the next 15 minutes. If you're just joining us, you're welcome. And we want to apologize that a lot of people didn't get the links on time, and we really do apologize. And, if you're just joining us and you have questions, you can actually just, if you want to talk, that's okay. You can unmute yourself and ask your question. Or if you want to put the question in the chat, that works as well. While we're doing that, I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to everybody for joining once again. and also speak to folks that are probably on the East Coast with me, in New Brunswick, especially. If you're actually looking to join a local chapter, I'm also advocating, as the president of the chapter, that you can please feel free to join us. You just need to be a member of the IBA Global, and then select IBA New Brunswick as your chapter. So if you also want to connect right after, I'm gonna put my number right in the chat if anybody still wants to connect with me thereafter. Okay, so I see someone say to me,
what's the cost of the program, Shego?
program.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, let me start from the value of the program. The value of the program is pretty much over 3,000 USD. That's the value of that program because um, we're trying as much as possible to be able to really help, a lot of folks, especially newcomers and immigrants to really pivot into business analysis. So right now, we've been able to discount this to 1,600 Canadian dollars only. That's the full cost. But of course, if you're joining today, you can be rest assured that you're going to be getting a 50% discount if you join on the webinar today. It's valid for 24 hours. I see a question right here. After the program, do you still provide extra support, especially for people struggling? Absolutely. One of the things we tell our students is that we don't leave you. When you say you can work, yeah, we're still with you to support you. And at some point, I've had some of my students, um, get a new job and then, still, probably just run into, the bathroom to just call me. Someone said this, someone said that, what is this, what's that, and all of that support you can be sure that you have. So you have our support every step of the way. Every step of the way. Okay. So, is the certificate provided after the program? Yes, it's an endorsed course by IBA, and like I said, you can look on IBA website. Search for endorsed trainers, and this is an extra piece of advice. For anyone, even anyone that doesn't want to, study with PhD consulting, right? The most important thing is ensure that you go with an endorsed education provider according to IBA. You don't just want to, some guy is certified, he does training. Go for an endorsed education provider. Why? Because they've been endorsed by IBA. Okay. Yes, there is a certificate after the program, and yes, you would receive a certificate after the program. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. If you're just joining us, welcome once again. And if anybody has a question, feel free to ask. Our very experienced instructors are here to kind of answer you. So if anybody wants to connect, feel free to connect with me right on LinkedIn, and also I have my email address right on here, info@phdconsulting.com. If anybody wants to connect, or if you want to connect, my phone number is right here, right after the class. Okay. I hope this is a lot of value for everyone. I know folks in Nigeria is a little late.
It is.
Yeah, it is late. I know. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, but really, the BA track or the BA role or the BA career is very rewarding. It could be a bit intimidating when you started at first. Like I used to have heart palpitations, when I had to lead my very first meetings and sessions. But now, it's work in the park, but it's very rewarding. It's very interesting. You are leading teams, you are resolving conflict. You wear so many hats in the course of this, which is why we fit into so many areas. So really, if you do decide to go into the BA track, it's very, very rewarding and very value adding. And then it pays well. Yeah, it pays well. And you're always in demand. You're always, always in demand. Like I get calls every day from the US, from the UK, from Canada. I get mails every day. Like I said before, you don't stop at CBAP. You need to that's a very good starting point, but you don't stay there. You need to ensure that you have your arsenal, you keep, developing yourself, and you keep adding things to your heart just so that you can make yourself very, very distinctive in the marketplace. The exam, is every exam tutu it's theoretical. That's the truth. Every exam that I've done so far, the truth is we don't use them in real life as much as you think you would. But in the case of CBAP, it's actually quite practical. It might look that thread because you're not in the BA line, but really it helps a lot. All the terms you need to know, the tools you need to use, the techniques, everything is very, very practical. And some of it is because in real life, it extends way beyond the BA's portfolio. But I can tell you that it is very practical. It's not, it's only thread because you're not in that role as at now. But the exam itself is very, very practical. And when you do it and you get a first BA role, you see that, you can always go back and refer and pick things from Barbook that you can use in your everyday life on every project that you deliver.
Okay, that's another question in the chat right here. Okay, so admin has posted the link if you want to kind of join or enroll for the course. Do you provide handouts for both program and in preparation for the exam? Yes, absolutely. What we have is so when you see handouts, it's a little a
There's no
little
handout for CBAP. All you need is just Barbook.
you will join IB and also have access
Yes,
to your
yes. You
large
cannot escape.
knowledge.
See, this exam, there's no shortcuts. Your only Bible for CBAP is that what they call the Bible, the business analysis body of knowledge. You have to read that big 500-page book end to end at least 3 times. That's the truth. And that's all you need for the exam, no other thing. So you might get handouts, but trust me, it won't cover the full breadth of what you need to know for the exam. So all you need for the exam is just that book, that Bible, that text. You read that Bible end to end, like 2 or 3 times. You get the hang of it and understanding. You are good to go for the exam. So, yes, it is be a Bible. That's all you need to know.
That's really interesting.
Yeah,
Really
it is.
interesting. I thought somebody was going to ask me, what is the process of getting certified? I thought someone was going to ask that question. Maybe we all know how to, but of course, we would usually support our
Mm-mm.
students, along the entire process. First thing is to for you to, get an endorsed training, first of all, and then thereafter, we'll be able to support you. You submit an application, and that's going to cost you like $125, $150 now. It used to be 125 USD. Once that is done, your application is either approved or audited. Okay. If it's audited, then you just need to reach out to your contacts, maybe previous managers, or we usually provide references as well, for our students if need be. And then of course, once that is done, your application is approved, and then you have up to 1 year for you to be able to sit for the exam. And you go in and sit down and pass the exam. That's really how that is done. But of course, I want to encourage everyone to kind of join iba.org. I'm going to put it right on the chat.
Yeah, there's lots of materials, lots of articles that you can gain from that, from being a member.
And if you
You
don't
can
have the local chapter yet as well, we're also soliciting that you join
looking for
us.
members.
Yeah, IB branch.
Networking is very good in the BA world. Networking helps a lot. You get to learn, you get to build your network, you get to get opportunities, and so yes, please join. And coming for the training gives a very good grip on what to expect in the real world. It's very practical.
Absolutely.
Just a lot of information, but something that you can really use.
Right,
If you do decide to go in the BA track, it's a very rewarding career.
right, right.
Yeah.
And I really don't think people should go alone. I think
Hmm.
better you kind of, get help, work with a
Yeah.
coach, be with the same people that are going to the same place you want to get to as well.
Yeah.
Many
It
people
helps.
kind of landed here in Canada, oh, I was a banker, I didn't even have a career, or I was this or that. But 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, those people are earning six figures. One of the things that I see is people love, you know, people that are doing well, earning that money, doing very well, and all of that, changing their lives, right? But not everybody wants to go through the crucible. What I say to people is invest in yourself today so that your
Yeah.
future self will say thank you to you. So yeah, someone said you said you're looking for volunteers. Yeah, we are. What exactly will the volunteers be doing? Okay, so IBA New Brunswick, the not-for-profit, we might be looking for people that have certain skill sets. You know, depending on the kind of skill set you have, maybe you can do research, or you like to do administrative stuff, or you have some IT knowledge, or you like to plan events, or you like to help us look for speakers, or you like to help us look for sponsorship. You're welcome. Whatever skill set you bring to the table, you're very welcome. Okay, someone said, so what's the cost after giving the 50% discount? It's going to be about 800 Canadian dollars. Okay. Yeah. So, and maybe I forgot to kind of mention this as well. So during the course of the program, yeah, like I said, we're going to be teaching you the traditional way as well as agile. People get certified in between as well. As an accredited training partner with Scrum Study, our students are able to get their Scrum fundamentals and Scrum Master or even Scrum Product Owner, depending on where they decide they want to fit in, pretty much. So yeah, and of course, I advise that yes, get your certification as soon as you can. People jump on this program and they start going for interviews. Some people say, you know what, I don't think I need the certification anymore, but I still tell them you still need to. It's better because it gives you that level of fulfillment that you're looking for, that confidence, promotion, and you're going to be really sought after. Okay. I don't see any questions in the chat. Does anybody wants to still ask any questions? We have about 4 minutes remaining before we call it a wrap tonight. Thank you. I see my very good friend joining all the way from Ontario. Thank you for joining. Says it's a great session. Yeah. Thank you very much for all the support. Our New Brunswick chapter is is kicking off in the next few weeks. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, and thank you very much to folks that are joining all the way from Saskatchewan as well. Someone messaged now. The yes to that. Yes to that, Rufina. Yeah, yes to that. Okay. Um, I don't know if we still have any other questions. I'm really excited to have this very interesting session, chat with people that want to start their BA careers and, have the opportunity to, provide information to folks that are looking to kind of join. So I see the admin posted the link as well. If you still want to join, feel free. This offer is not going to be there any longer after 24 hours. However, if anyone wants to, okay, is the training going to be online? Yes, it is going to be online. And of course, you have access to the learning management system where you are able to kind of go back, watch videos and, leverage and still do your assignments as well. Okay. And I think I also almost forgot to say that after the program, we try to give to our students opportunities to jump on real life projects. We have technical partners. Of course, it's unpaid, but of course, that internship would help you have that real experience of relating with people. Yeah. When you do the case studies, you will be sound, you will be very good, right? But of course, when you really now deal with people, it gives you that opportunity to see, oh yes, I have a deliverable, I need to meet that timeline. Okay, this stakeholder is difficult, this stakeholder is not. Like one of the interview questions they'll naturally ask everyone, how do you deal with a difficult stakeholder? Okay. So someone says, what is the time for the program? So the program usually happens on Saturday. It's going to start Saturday, September 10th. For folks that are on the East Coast, it's going to start at 7 p.m. and it runs through for about 2.5 hours. And thereafter, you're going to be having assignments which you're going to be dealing with during the week. And then we have a closed group where you can actually ask questions and you have opportunity, to have a mentor that can actually help you navigate this path. So if there is no other question, I guess it would be a very good time to kind of call it, to kind of draw the curtains tonight. Thank you very much for joining, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in class, and of course, looking forward to see you do exploits, start earning that, living that life you want to, earning that 6 figures, and solving great problems and being sought after as a BA. Thank you so much for joining, and I don't know, BC, any last words from you?
No. Thank everybody. And please don't be scared to take the leap. It's a very, very, very safe way to land. Look forward to seeing you in the class. And it will be an honor and privilege to walk you through the journey. Thank you for coming for the session.
Awesome.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah.
And have a very wonderful night.